Okay, hello Cloud Gurus and welcome to this Challenge Lab for putting into practice what we've learned so far. Now, for most of the labs, I recommend that you first watch me go through the lab once, and then you go ahead and do it yourself. But for this Challenge Lab, I'm going to describe what we want to accomplish, and I want you to go ahead and make that happen before you watch me do it. So in this lab, what we want to wind up with in the end is a brand new project, and in that project we get a Google Compute Engine instance that runs this provided script. This script installs the Stackdriver logging agent, so we should be able to see the system logs in Stackdriver logs. In this project, we want a new Google Cloud Storage bucket that will hold the log files that get created at the end of this script. And we want these log files to be successfully created when the script does finish and the instance finishes starting up. Now, throughout all of this, it should be completely hands-off. There should be no need to actually SSH in to this particular instance that we create. Everything it does should happen automatically just because of how we've set it up. This is the list of things that you should try to accomplish. Now, to do that, here are a few tips. Now, I said that there's no need to SSH into this instance, but I will call out that you might want to do that for debugging if you're having trouble. That said, in the end, you should be able to create one instance that doesn't need any manual control at all. Another tip is that you should not need to change the startup script that I've given you, but you will definitely need to read it to get some key information to complete the lab. Now, don't worry if you don't understand everything that it's doing, that's fine, but you should still be able to make out the gist of it. Effectively, this startup script is very similar to just logging into the instance after it's been created and then running all of those commands one after the other. Now, it's a little bit different because that startup script runs with superuser privileges, but only the commands to install anything actually need those superuser privileges, so most of them will work if you just paste them one after another into a secure shell session. Now, as you're working through this, it's entirely likely that you'll make some mistakes, and that's fine, but to save yourself some time and help you move forward, you might want to consider using the Create Similar button to try again. That'll just fill in all of the same information from the last instance you created, so you can just tweak whatever was wrong with it. Now, another thing to mention is that you should clean up after yourself. Remember to delete or stop any instances that you create. Now, if you're creating free tier instances, in particular F1 micro instances, in a zone in the US that's not in North Virginia, then it's likely that all of the instances that you create will still remain free and won't even use up any of your free trial credit. Even if you have multiple instances running at the same time because you're trying different things out, as long as the total number of running instance hours aren't more than the number of hours in the month, they'll all still be free. Now, this challenge lab is going to be difficult for some and easy for others, and that's fine, really. So my last tip here is that you should ask and answer questions on the course discussion forum. Regardless of which side of the spectrum you fall on, this will definitely help your learning. Alright, now I have one more challenge, an advanced challenge, to repeat this whole lab from scratch using only the command line interface through Cloud Shell. Now, I highly recommend that you complete this challenge lab through the console UI first, both because it's important to understand how the console works in addition to the command line, but also because you can use the information from the UI-based project to craft the command lines you're going to use in the command line-based project. So the challenge here is, can you script absolutely everything? Maybe even creating the new project purely through the command line and setting Cloud Shell to connect to that? Maybe with a new profile? But don't worry if you find this to be too challenging for now. And if you do, don't feel blocked from continuing on in the course, but do at least give this a shot first. Well, okay, remember that you're going to get more out of this exercise if you complete it before you watch me step through it. So if you have any questions, please ask them. If not, then I'll see you in the next lecture, once you've had a go at this on your own. Thank you.